Hello, welcome. Well, I'm back, still on the 9070 XT. Gonna have a look at Alan Wake 2. It's gonna be absolutely brutal. More than likely, but we'll definitely get the settings working to get some reasonably decent FPS at some point, hopefully. Check out path tracing, all that. Let me sort the overlay out. I think I'll probably continue off as well for... I have completed the game before, but I got... I can't remember how far I got. I got part way through, I started it again. So I might as well pick up from where I left off last time. Let's get the... just run through the settings really quick, because it's probably going to have... There we go. It's picked all the settings for me, because I guess it tries to do that, I think, sometimes based on the GPU you have in recommended settings. But I'll go 4K at first. Like I say, that's probably going to be horrendous, but it's worth checking out anyway whilst we're here. So render resolution is also 4K, no upscaling or anything. Seems like we've pretty much got everything maxed, it looks like. All those graphic settings. I'll absolutely max ray tracing as well, so I'll have path tracing on. Should be kind of interesting to see really how that does, because compared to some of the other games we've seen it with, you know, like Black Myth Wukong, Cyberpunk, all of that, it'd be interesting to see where this sits in terms of path tracing performance. Stephen, hello. Leo, yo. Am I going to turn the overlay on? Yeah, it's on. It should be on. Yeah, it should be on. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me load it in from where I was. When did I last play? 19th of February. Was it? Yeah, it was probably 19th of February, was it? Initiation. Wait, what's that? 1906? Yeah, it was probably here, wasn't it? 3 hours. Why Remedy doesn't update? No reason. It takes time to add stuff to games, doesn't it? It probably will get added eventually.
Felt significant.
As much as any other game. Why is it not in Cyberpunk? Why is it not in... It's only in 30 games officially. It's not that many compared to how many games there are. Just takes time.
Pull between the lamp and the light overhead.
Why no stream for this game? What do you mean? Why no stream for this game? I don't know what that means. So we're seeing here at 4K about 2122, which actually isn't that bad. It's probably the best path tracing performance we've seen so far. Considering Cyberpunk was about 15 FPS, Black Myth Wukong was about 7 FPS, wasn't it? So 20 is obviously low, but considering it's not actually that bad. What about everything else? VRAM 14.6, so that's round about similar to what we've seen in other games at 4K with this. Not too bad, still got a little bit left over there, a little bit spare. Power though, maxed out as we've sort of come to expect now on this GPU, 330 watts. Just that frame time. I have noticed with ray tracing, path tracing on this GPU, the frame time is really, really choppy, which I don't know if I've noticed that so much before in AMD GPUs for it to be so choppy like that, but I'm not noticing any visual stuttering or anything. Oh, Steam. Oh, because it's like it's Epic exclusive, isn't it? I don't know if it'll ever... Often games like that do eventually come to Steam, but...
Whoa! When the light jumped into my lab, The whole room changed. Like something in a dream.
So seeing it dip a little bit here, 19 FPS, but overall it's actually not as bad. I thought this would be worse.
The light now.
This is actually not so bad, considering the settings we're running. Yeah, so I'll run through the settings really quickly. I did the thing, but at the moment I am at 4K here. Weirdly, it's got DLSS selected here. That's not possible. Now that I've clicked FSR2, DLSS disappeared. That's funny. Got all the graphics max, so you can see here we've got it all set to high, ultra high. And then down here we've got ray tracing preset set to high as well. So that's all completely maxed out. So actually overall, not terrible FPS. You know, this could actually be, I was expecting this to be a lot worse. I mean, I don't know what's happened now. Okay, what's happened then? Okay, this now seems actually more like what I would expect. What settings did I just have it on? DLSS? I don't understand how that's possible. We're on an AMD GPU. How's that? How does that work? I can't even pause it now. No! What happened? It said DLSS, didn't it? This is 4K, yeah. Mehmet, hello! Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. For some reason, when I went into the menu, I'm going to maybe exit to the main menu and come back in. We had a DLSS option here. I'm not quite sure how that's even possible because you can't use DLSS on an AMD GPU. DLSS is now available on AMD GPUs. No, it's definitely not, no. Right, so I'm going to back out. Let's check the menu again because maybe it's just a little bug in the game. Let's try it. Let's try it again. Because I was definitely not expecting 20 FPS. Like, that seems pretty decent to me for 4K. That's, like, better than a 5080. So, that just didn't seem right. But you can see I am at 4K native. Still all the graphics max. So, let's try it again. Mehmet, hello. So yes, I think this is actually the FPS. So ignore the 20 FPS we had. I think that was with FSR quality or something. I'm not quite sure because it wasn't reflected in the settings. Don't know if maybe that's bugged. It was bugged a little bit. Oh my god, it's not even got the speech proper. So yeah, this is actually exactly the same as Black Myth Wukong, isn't it? We had basically 6 or 7 FPS on that. This might even be worse in the forest area. This is actually considering we're sort of in the indoor area. But this is actually more kind of like what I was expecting from this game, seeing 6 FPS here. That is definitely in line with other games I've seen when I've tried to do this at 4K with path tracing. We saw 6 or 7 FPS on Black Myth Wukong, so this definitely seems more correct. But it's almost like it's just breaking my GPU, because look at my power. 190 watts is like nowhere near what I'd expect with these settings. I'd expect 330. Same as VRAM too, 12.7. It's almost just like overloading the GPU or something. So look at this frame time, 170 milliseconds. Not looking good, bruv. I think this is not going to be... That's not going to be good at all. Look at my GPU temp, though, 44 degrees, because it's basically barely using any power. So let's not... I won't keep it on that. We won't do that for long, because that's going to be no fun. I can't even get to the menu. Here we go. Now let's drop this down. So, yeah, I don't know how on earth it was showing I had DLSS as an option. Now it's not there. I don't know. That is definitely bugged. How that's even possible? I'll drop it down to FSR2 quality. And that improves things a lot. Look at that. That's a crazy improvement. We're rendering at 1440p here, upscaling to 4K. Takes me from 6 FPS to 40. That's a huge difference. Shame we don't have even FSR 3 in this game. That's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Many of his stories collapse back into the stuff that dreams are made of, to remain as they began. Works of fiction. And yet,
Play through like this for a little bit. It does seem like my frame time still looks really choppy. It's probably path tracing. Probably need to switch that off, really. Which we will test that out. Just play it through a little bit like this first. But it still does look really choppy, doesn't it? Not noticing it so much in when I play. I don't really feel it stutter or anything. But we are seeing GPU power here actually go back up to where I would expect it to be, 330 again. So it definitely almost seems natively it just kind of implodes on itself. Star Citizen on this GPU. Yeah, I probably will check it out at some point. I actually play Star Citizen a little bit off stream. I checked it out a couple of days ago. It doesn't run that great on this from what I saw, but I think it could be like a driver thing. I don't know if there's been like a... I don't know if that game is sort of been covered in the drivers or not. It seemed really stuttery for me. It's a bit hard to tell on that game, obviously, because that game... The performance overall on that game isn't incredible, you know.
The glow in the lamp.
Sometimes it's a bit hard to tell, but it did seem to be a bit stuttery for me. But I'll probably check it out at some point.
Carved out something new from the darkness.
I've got a pretty long list of games that I still need to check out, so that's definitely on my list. And it also might be a little bit of a tough one to stream just because it sort of is a bit buggy, the game, isn't it? So it might, I don't know how fun that'll be to watch sometimes.
I needed to find another way out.
We gotta try and get out of here. Is Gigabyte really good? 55 temp. I mean, temps aren't too bad. Only the sort of memory junction and hotspot and stuff on this, it's just default is it can be sort of fairly warm-ish. Play Star Citizen every one or so years. You know, I'll definitely check it out at some point. I did when I played. I didn't actually really pay too much attention to the FPS, but I did drop mine down to 1080p. I had the graphics all completely maxed to try and but sometimes with Star Citizen it actually makes the stuttering worse the more you drop your settings down, because it's really CPU heavy, isn't it? So sometimes it's actually not the best idea to drop settings down like that. See, there's a light here, but it's no charges. What does that mean then? I can't get back.
I needed to find the basement the janitor mentioned.
I found the basement, didn't I? But now I can't get back. Or can I? Oh, no. It's because I need the charge. I'm being stupid. How did I... Where am I? Oh, here we go. Yeah. What's this way then? Is ray tracing maxed out right now? Yeah. I have got FSR on though. Go back upstairs.
I've been trying to find a way to escape the dark place.
Which card is yours specifically? What do you mean? All the cards are mine, but I own all of them. How the hell would AMD have DLSS featured? No, I think it is a bug. I think it was bugged. Because it's not there. When I first booted the game it was. Which is interesting because all my drivers and everything are DDU'd completely. So there's no way it's picking up on any NVIDIA related stuff because it's all gone. I think it's just a bug in the game, maybe, because... Or a bug in the game settings, because I don't have it anymore at all. But you can see here, we still have these modes, like DLSS Legacy, like these modes. It grays out, so I'm guessing maybe there was just some sort of bug there where it just wasn't graying it out or something. I don't know, because you can't obviously use DLSS on an AMD GPU, so it's definitely a bug. What's that say? It says basement. I mean, I think this is the way we gotta go, no? I figured maybe it's that way, but the door was locked. Fluid motion frames. I haven't checked it out yet, no. And the issue is I can't actually check it out on stream, because it won't actually display. The AIB model of my 9070 XT, what about it? Quite dark, isn't it? Here we go, this is it. Is it? No, I need my light back. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream as well. Try and get as many likes as we can. That definitely seems the right way, but is the door still going to be there? Okay, it is. Is it Gigabyte Gaming?
The dark place wants to drown me. I'm losing my...
This is with path tracing, yeah, just FSR quality though. With at native, it was 6 FPS. So actually not too bad FPS with FSR quality. Actually getting a fair bit more than I would guess we would get. Overall not too bad. It's just the frame time though. This game normally doesn't have too bad frame time. At least it doesn't normally look like that. But I have noticed last 4 or 5 games we've played, especially if you switch ray tracing on, it does seem to cause quite an inconsistent frame time on this GPU. But I'll go back to native in a little bit and we'll try it without path tracing as well, and that should hopefully also be a lot better. 9800X 3D, yeah, it's decent. I know some people asking about the 9950X 3D. I don't have any plans right now to get it ready because I don't think it's really worth it just for gaming. In my opinion, like, I saw the comparisons, there's not really that much in it. Some games it's slightly better. Some games I saw actually the 9800X 3D actually has higher FPS. And it's like £700-800 here. It's for the new one. I don't really think it's worth it just yet. I might maybe end of the year or something maybe. So it might be interesting. We do get I think... should I steal that light from in here? Probably shouldn't I? What is that I see through here? Do I just see into the... Okay. Or will it send me back though? It will, won't it? Yeah, okay, so you can't take that. Gonna have to leave that light in there. Be interesting to see how it does out here, because this area is quite heavy. So you're seeing it here, 36 FPS, so it's coming down a little bit. 34. This at native, realistically, is going to be like 4 or 5 FPS, isn't it? That's pretty nuts. Out in this bit. It does look good, though.
Hello?
Alan Wake?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
No?
9750X3D, 9800. Yeah, overall average is probably about the same performance, really. I think it's only going to be useful for if you need a CPU for other stuff, other workloads. For just gaming alone, I think the 9800 X3D is fine.
Caldera Street Station, the subway. You need to go there. I'll call you again later. Make sure to pick up.
Do I know you? I know you from somewhere.
You've just forgotten again. We're in this together. Don't worry. I got you now. We've been working. Great.
I'm losing you.
Oh, 27 here.
Hello?
Coming down a little bit. Quality of the image. FSR quality here is not too bad. I mean, this is FSR 2 as well. It's not too bad. I think quality's fine. I mean, with these settings at 4K, there's not really any... You have to use this. You can't play with 6 FPS, you know? There's no way with these settings to run this game at 4K. You have to use this, ultimately, with these settings. It's either that or turn the settings down or turn the resolution down, which we will check out in a sec. I've always really liked the lighting of that. I think that looks really good. This with ray trace. Yeah, so at the moment, I've got everything maxed out. So you can see here, I'm currently using FSR at quality, so it's rendering from 1440p. But all the graphics are maxed, so you can see all set to high or ultra. Ray tracing preset is set to high. We've got all these high here. You can see. So natively, it was about 6 FPS. But with this, it's actually not too bad. It's sort of mostly 35 to 40 so far from what we've seen.
The Caldera Street station sign was there, but the entrance...
Warzone is in the game.
I had to make it appear.
Yeah, no, I've got that on my list of games to check, which
Station entrance.
is in like the big map. I haven't really played Warzone in a while. Big map or small map. I kind of want to check out Black Ops multiplayer as well, maybe. Might be worth having a look. So we need a light source.
Don't mind me, just passing through. Shadows stirred like there was someone there, but there was no one. I wanted to keep it that way.
We get it from the car. So even into the low 30s here, 33. Can't go in there. So there's a light source there, but we don't have... Oh, there's one down there, I think. Still a little concerned about that frame time, though. I could let's switch it down to balanced, maybe. See what the quality looks like, and also if that fixes the frame time out a little bit. Let it load. That's not made any difference to my FPS, has it? Oh no, I lie, it has. It's given us maybe about, what, 10 FPS from where we were here. 43. Definitely was expecting it to be maybe a little bit more than that, but it hasn't fixed our frame time. Game goes on, hello. Could use OptiScaler. Yeah, you could do. The issue with OptiScaler FSR4 in this, though, is you'd actually get less FPS, though. FSR4 is going to give you less FPS in comparison. And to be honest, there's not really an issue with FSR quality in this. I don't think the quality's too bad.
The writer. I'm Alex Casey. I'm looking into a murder.
Come on, what is this?
There's a piece of evidence, a manuscript of a novel.
This is 4K, yeah. Yeah, it should say at the bottom
What
in
manuscript?
4K.
I need
So I
to
move it up a little bit. Is it not very clear?
Rumor had it the manuscript contained the details of the murders. A murder cult was following the story to commit their gruesome acts.
Yeah, it has FSR 2. I actually didn't realise. I thought it was 3, but it's 2. It's crazy this game hasn't actually got FSR 3 yet.
Perfect work.
How long's that been out for?
Or would he be the next
And obviously with path tracing in this game, I thought it'd really benefit from FSR 3. Really surprised it didn't get that.
Stay here.
No, wait! I need a gun!
No chance.
Maybe an NVIDIA sponsored game though, isn't it, I think? Could maybe that be something to do with it? The forest sections, definitely, yeah, we did say about that.
Damn it.
It would be a little less, yeah. Because when I tried native, we were getting 6 FPS, and that wasn't in the forest. We'd probably get like 4 FPS in the forest or something. It probably wouldn't. It would probably just crash, to be honest.
You're not gonna get what you want. You think you know. You know shit. You don't really want to know.
Alan Wake 2 doesn't have good graphics. What? Who said that? Who said that?
I needed his gun and flashlight to protect myself. This was an echo of the books I had written for years. Picking up Casey's gun felt like I was...
Yeah, I just tested it out in the main square area. It's fairly demanding there. We sort of dipped down close to the 30s, 32, 33, so back out on this bit. Horizon Forbidden West DLC. I could do. I haven't actually completed the game though. I should probably complete the actual game first though, right? I assume the DLC is like an extension of the main game. I could just play... I've forgotten the controls. But I'll definitely test Forbidden West because it's got FSR 4.
They were trying to stop me.
I don't actually even know if I have the DLC either. Do you get that free as part of it? But yeah, I should probably complete the actual base game first. Beamer, hello! So you see it dip down here. 45 in the dark sort of alley. Getting about 36 here. We just saw 36, 37. So... still that crazy choppy frame time as well. Should we also have a look? Let's maybe just check performance quickly as well whilst we're here. It's going to start probably looking quite rough though at FSR2. It just really doesn't... it does give us more FPS, but it doesn't really help us in a huge amount. It does look like that's fixed my frame time a little... oh no, I spoke too soon. Still doing it, just not as badly, but it is still pretty choppy, isn't it? I think overall, because normally this game runs quite well, and from what I recall, the lows were quite good on this game. But just the consistency of the frame time there looks kind of worrying. Space Marine 2, yeah, that's on my list as well. I actually just installed that with the textures as well. The, what was it, 4K textures? And I still need to complete it, I think. I think I'm quite close to the end. This is native resolution? No. At the moment, this is with FSR performance. If you stand back from your PC, it looks like a PS3 game. What? Oh my god. What Randall, what games do you think look good? United? Oh, they're about to go out, aren't they? Did you watch the game last night? I watched the second half of that. Atletico and Madrid. Holy smokes. That is... that's crazy. I still don't understand the penalty at the end that got disallowed. He doesn't. It doesn't look like he touches it with both feet, so I'm confused. Why that got ruled out. Have I played Red Dead Redemption 2? In general, or on this? Path tracing is on, yeah. Performance here, though, does seem to have fixed my frame time a little bit. It's definitely still doing it, but it's not as definitely not as bad. I think everything else, power's still maxed out, seeing an average of 50, so that's a little still better. I personally probably wouldn't play like this. I'd rather drop to 1440p and use like a higher preset, really. Kind of unnecessary to. That lighting looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's unnecessary to sort of drop the FSR, considering it is FSR 2 as well. Dropping that, it's kind of not worth it. Edits and animations are low. What DLSS version does Alan Wake use? It has 4. Does it have 4? It does have 4. Yeah, it has 4. And it has multi-frame generation as well, but only obviously if you've got a 50 series. Whereas DLSS 4, any RTX GPU. From what I remember, it's been a while actually since I did a playthrough of this game. Do like that lighting though. Shall we, whilst we're here, might as well go back to native. I'll show you, well, it might crash to be honest. I'll show you how ridiculous it is at native, and then we'll switch path tracing off. And just kind of get a rough idea without that, because it's not going to be doable at all at 4K at least. You didn't watch the game. You were out. Oh, you missed a good one. The craziest bit is at the end. All the Real Madrid players are just like at the crowd, just like cheering and stuff. I feel like you wouldn't be allowed to do that in England. Just like inciting the crowd. Okay. It's gonna fully break my GPU, but it finally loaded in. So this is what that looks like native, which is pretty brutal. It looks good graphically, but it's going to be an absolute horrendous situation to try and play. Pretty much 6 FPS. And yeah, you see, it seems to almost overload my GPU because the power, look, 200 watts. We had more power using FSR. So it literally almost... Sort of a similar thing. I don't remember if you saw my 4080 Super when I tried it in Indiana Jones that time, and it was using like way less power. It's almost like it overloads it or something. Yeah, but it looks good quality-wise, but it's just not going to be... It's not going to be good at all, and I can't pause it anymore. It takes so long to pause when the FPS is like that. It's so laggy. So if I just come in here, we'll go ray tracing preset. Should we maybe just drop it down a little bit? Should we drop it down just a little? I'll drop it to medium. That's realistically actually not going to do anything. I'll drop it to low. Let's drop it to the low preset and see what that does for us. Okay. 25 FPS. I mean, that's still not amazing, but it's going to be better than 6. Seeing even as much as 30 here. So I've always said realistically, I think if you're going to run ray tracing on this, I think you can get away with it at sort of the lower medium. You know, 1440p low here, or even medium, you'd probably be alright. Where have I got to go? Can I get out? Back to that choppy frame time, though. I think we can go down here now. So like this, it actually still looks quite good, even with it set to low. I think it still doesn't look too bad. Seeing an average of about 31 there. Definitely going to be a lot nicer like this. Doesn't look too bad, does it? And then if we come into here and we just completely switch that off, we come down here. You didn't even turn on path tracing. It was on. We had it on high. I've just switched it low. We were just testing low out, but originally we had this all set to high. It says here, path trace indirect lighting. We had this all set to high. This was where it was 6 FPS. You're seeing it here, about 5 FPS. This is with path tracing on. That's what I had before. But just now, I just switched it to low. That's how we were getting 20. I can't even pause it again. So if we set all that to low instead, which, yes, that does switch path tracing off. But we can have ray tracing still on and set to low. That'll give you about 30 here. Just, just giving you an example of the difference between the two. Is FSR on right now? No. This is native at the moment. And then if we fully switch it off, so just 4K, so you can see here I'm at native 340 by 2160. We'll just then switch that fully off, so still max graphics, but just no ray tracing or anything at 4K. You might actually get a fairly, almost 50 FPS there. Which is actually still quite impressive. It's still like a fairly graphically intense game to play. With everything set to the max. Seeing about 40, you're going to maybe see an average between 45 and 50. Not too bad. I could probably just about play it like that, to be honest. If it had an average of about 50, I don't think I'd mind playing that.
I needed to find another light to go deeper inside.
Does seem to... Also, doesn't completely fix my frame time, though, does it? We're still getting quite a lot of big spikes in the frame time. Even with ray tracing and everything switched off. I thought maybe that'd fix it. $1440p or 4K. It's mostly targeted at 1440p, really. But you can definitely play games at 4K. You just have to change the settings around a little bit. But you can definitely make it work, like you're seeing here. You could... I don't see any reason why you couldn't play at 4K like this. 4K, average 51 here. You could do that. Even if you switch one of the two of the settings down. Graphic settings, you could probably push 60, really.
The gates to the platform were closed. I had a ticket.
No, put the ticket in.
Something about the station platform.
FSL4 on? No, this game hasn't officially got FSL4. Yeah, I mean, it is a 1440p card, but realistically, with path tracing on at 1440p, which we'll check in a sec, it's also not going to be that great either. Like, if we're getting 6 FPS at 4K, it's going to be probably less than 20 at 1440p with those same settings. There's not really going to be any scenario natively you can run that with this GPU. You would still, at 1440p, you'd still have to rely on FSR if you were going to max that out. Can't you just enable FSR through AMD software? No, the game still has to support it. You can't override a game if it doesn't have it. It has to have at least 3.1, and then you can override it to 4 from Adrenaline. But if it doesn't even have 3.1, you can't override it. You can't just override any game. There's only 30 games that support it officially in AMD. The only outside is you have to mod it. There's no... You can't just override anything. It still has to have it. Which we have done. We checked Spider-Man 2 Monster Hunter Wilds, I overrid it
Making progress.
on both those
The
games.
dark place reacted to my story. The way into the tunnels was no longer blocked.
Can be modded. Yes, yeah. It can be modded, yeah. I'm talking about the official overriding in Adrenaline, AMD
Tracks led into
Adrenaline.
the tunnel. That was my way forward.
So even seeing 60 down here, it's going to be a variation. Obviously, in the forest area, it's probably going to dip down maybe closer to like high 40s potentially. And in some areas, you might even see closer to 60 like we're seeing here.
The blood trail continued deeper into darkness.
Run. Okay, so a bit of a noticeable stutter there that I felt. Seeing 0.1% low 12 now. This runs better than Nvidia. Well, it depends what GPU. That's a broad statement.
Sound of that.
Like, if you're going to say a 5090, then no. No, it doesn't. 5080, it doesn't. So, I don't know what GPU you mean. Which one? So I think what we'll do next is we'll drop it down to 1440p, I guess, and have a look at path tracing on that as well. I think I can go through the train, can't I? What version of the 9070 XT? Gigabyte Gaming.
Tunnels were a maze. The blood trail led me on.
Runs better than a 4060 Ti. It does, yeah. That's what I was saying. I don't know, like, just saying, does it run better than Nvidia? It's like I need more specifics, you know. that could be yes and no. It could be yes and no in both.
Place to use in the story. Needed to search the tunnels.
It can be yes, no, and maybe.
Inspiration for the story that would lead me deeper.
No easy way to answer it.
I changed the story, and with that, the dark place changed. The federal agent had come here looking for answers. All he found was a fate worse than death.
Running a bit low on battery there, aren't I? For some reason, this reminds me a little bit of Last of Us, running around like underground a bit like this. Anyone else feel that? What's that? Is it part... It is part one when they go... You have to go through the tunnels.
Echo lingered here. A source of inspiration.
Word is your research can help me, ma'am. What
Does it beat the XTX? In this game or just in general? It varies. I think there's the odd game it gets a little more, but I think overall, like if I had an XTX, I wouldn't want to switch to this. It wouldn't be worth it.
Was even involved somehow.
I think in a lot of games too, it's less, so it wouldn't be. It's not an upgrade in theory, really.
It was disturbing finding myself in the story this way. But I was desperate, and it felt right for the story.
If you underclock it, it can almost hit 50. I don't know about 5080. I know you can get slightly better performance, but I think the gap would be too big to be able to underclock to a 5080 on this. That's like there's a fair big gap between those two. I don't know if you maybe mean undervolt, right? I don't know if just that alone would bridge the gap between this and a 5080. Like, it's quite a fair big gap. Especially at 4K.
The plot changes shaped the world around me. I could imagine this murder cult performing their macabre acts beyond the collapsed tunnel.
Guys, do make sure to drop a like on the stream. Almost at 100 likes. 22 likes off. It'd be cool if we can hit that. Just give me... Just give me 2 seconds. 24... Yeah, I mean, XTX 24 gig, definitely. I'm not sure what you mean by 20 gigs of... Do you mean the 7900 XT? Are you referring to that? That was 20 gig, wasn't it?
The cultists laid the Casey novel onto the altar with reverence. A twisted Bible.
Lower the vault. Yeah, no, I hear you can get a little bit of performance, but I doubt it'd be 5080 level. This is it's too far. That's way too far just undervault alone. Is there something I can do with that? So what I do want to do now, it might be worth dropping it down to 1440p whilst we've got a second and have a look at that. So if I go here 2560 by 1440, I might have to go windowed. Otherwise I think it's going to look weird on the stream. That should fix it. There we go. I'll change the text on the stream as well. Change that to that. So you can see here 1440p, 2560 by 1440 in both display and render. So no upscaling. Everything else still maxed. What I will do is switch ray tracing back on, switch that all to the max for the first bit. I will switch that. I will turn that down a little bit after. Let's make the overlay a bit smaller because that's massive. So it sometimes takes a little bit to load. That looks like that's loaded. So there you go. 14 FPS. So although it's low, the context is at 4K this was 6, so it is doubled. It's over doubled in theory. Over doubled the performance. So it's still insanely low FPS, but it has doubled it. Going from 4K to 1440p. It does seem to still overload the GPU though or something, because my power, look, 200 watts. If I play natively, it seems to not use the full power of the GPU. As soon as I switch the settings down a bit, we go back up to 330 watts again. So this is what I was saying, how even at 1080p with these settings, it's not going to be great either. Just doing it natively. As to be expected, I think path tracing on this is actually pretty much the same, isn't it, as Black Myth Wukong when we tried that. Pretty much exactly the same FPS. How do we, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to get out? What's the, find more signs in the tunnels. I think I need to go, back and then turn around. Try using the new NVIDIA 5090. Yeah, I have tried that out in this game. Have a Monster Hunter. Yeah, I played Monster Hunter the other day. It's on the channel. If you have a look on the channel, it's more than likely I probably have played a game. If you're looking for it. Played quite a few games. If I haven't tried it yet, I probably will do at some point. So, yeah, dipping down a little bit here, 13, like realistically in a forest, the forest area on this game, you might even see it maybe dip down to sort of closer to 10, really. So it just shows you how brutal that is. how tough that's path tracing and stuff. How tough that is to run. Not going to be easy at all natively. So even 1080p realistically is probably going to be maybe 20 FPS. Still, oh god, there's quite bad ghosting there, isn't it? Is that supposed to? Oh, I think that's part of the game actually. It looked like it was ghosting, but I think that is actually part of the game. I think it's when you go near the sort of dark bit. Yeah, it's doing it. So, I don't think we need to... I won't hang on that for too long, because it's probably not great to... it's probably not great to watch, really, is it? So, let's drop it down a little bit. Should we drop to medium? Let's drop to medium at first. Medium ray tracing and path tracing on. See what that can do for us. Doesn't give us... You know, does increase FPS a little bit, but it's not going to be game-changing. It is still going to struggle. Got a map there. Missed that somehow. Hitting about 18 FPS. Enjoying Monster Hunter at the moment. Yeah, it's grown on me a little bit. I haven't had too much time to play. The only annoyance for me is I don't quite understand the co-op. Trying to play with my cousin a little bit, and you can't. You can only play backwards, can't you? So like, I can't do a mission that I haven't done yet, type thing. You have to do the mission first by yourself before you can do it with someone else. Or like, if that person's further than you, they can help you, but you can't help them, type thing. I didn't quite. I thought it was going to be a separate thing where you can just go into like an area and just sort of hunt monsters or something. I don't know. I don't think I've quite got to like grips with actually how you do it, to be honest. Okay, here we go. What's down here then?
Someone was humming. Was it worth the risk to go see who?
Oh, it's that cleaner again. It creeps me out.
Hello. Oh, hey, Alan.
Oh, it's not. It's a policeman.
Snuck up on me.
Sorry. Have we met?
Memory problems again, huh? Yeah, we've met. Tim Breaker. We've shared notes. Hey, I've made some progress on the map if you want to take a look. I still haven't found my
Chinmay!
No.
I do have a 97 XT, yeah.
You're making a map.
Trying to. It's hard to map a dream, though. I keep ending up in unexpected places. I find interesting things like those strange markings that react to the light, but never the one thing that I'm looking for. Feel free to check the map out. Oh, I've been stockpiling supplies while I poke around. If you find
Has it got a trolley down there? What the hell?
Take anything you need.
I appreciate the help.
Cheers, Mush. Does feel quite laggy for me, latency-wise.
I'm just trying to make sense of things. Don't judge me.
Or like responsiveness is quite poor doing like playing like this. Oh, what's going on in here? Oh. What happened? This guy living down here. What's going on?
Who's this mystery man?
Oh, it wouldn't be much of a mystery if I knew. All I have is a name.
This is with ray tracing on medium. Yeah, I can fully switch it off. We can fully switch path tracing off. But transparency. So we've got those two path trace settings. I can switch those off. Just leave the rest on like that. Those two.
The talk show host?
No. No, that doesn't sound like him.
Still gives us a little bit
Guy
more.
has many disguises, but
Still only 30 though.
I'll keep looking.
And yet again, it seems just with path tracing or ray tracing on it, it seems to overload the GPU where it doesn't really fully use its power, which is odd. As soon as I switch that off, my power goes back up to 330. Maxes out. Oh, wait. Tunnel collapse. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Hello.
I had to be at the scene to see and understand it in order to change it.
Hello. Whoa! How am I in here? How do I get back? Tab. Right. Need to get back. Need to get back to the platform, was it? Yeah, so ideally situation really, we'll go back and just switch it all fully off now. So still native, but I'll have all the graphics are still maxed, just no ray tracing. So come in here, I'm still at native here. But yeah, these settings, although this is set to medium for some reason. Ultra, those all set to high and ultra, but all of that's off. And look at that. Look at the difference in performance here, that is. It goes from 30 FPS to 100. Or it goes from 14 FPS to 100. That's the craziest performance hit. Oh my god. That's actually ridiculous. That difference in FPS is absolutely insane. And like I was saying, look, my power here, back up to 330 again, maxed out. Pretty weird. How much FPS is that, realistically, going from... That's almost 100 FPS at an average of 112. We had like 14 with it fully maxed, and I'm getting an average of 113 here now. That's absolutely insane.
I glimpsed into the maw of darkness. It swallowed.
That's ridiculous. And my frame time is completely... Looks completely fine now as well. Although, when I said that, it is a bit choppy, isn't it? Look, it's still a bit choppy here. Oh yeah, here a bit bad. Oh. Be interesting to see what our FPS is like when we get outside, because it'll almost definitely be a lot less. Might even see under 100. This definitely feels so much better though, playing like this. Right, can we get out of here like this? That looks sketchy, doesn't it? Okay, that looks even more sketchier. Oh. Definitely, I think the game overall still looks okay like this. I think you definitely can tell with ray tracing on this game. You can tell the visual difference. It's not terrible, but it still looks pretty good without it. You can definitely tell. Seeing it dip down into the 90s a little bit as we sort of expected. 89 there. But at 1440p like this, I don't think you'll ever see it dip below 60. Well, you definitely shouldn't do. Find more signs of the activity in the tunnels. I've had a shocker. I'm going to have to go back. I've missed something. Alexandru, hello. Guys, make sure to do me a favour. Make sure to drop a like on the stream as well if you haven't already. Is frame generation on? No. No, we've got no frame generation in the actual in-game on this. It'd really ideally have to it'd have to be fluid motion frames, which I can't really stream with it because I can't show you, unfortunately. Basically, the only way to demonstrate fluid motion frames is with the AMD overlay, and they block it from being able to be captured. in OBS, so I can't actually show you live. I'd have to record a video. So I can switch it on, but you won't see any difference. Like, the FPS will be exactly the same. It won't capture it. How do we get back down? There's someone I've missed down there then. It's FSR2, yeah. Question is, what have I missed down here? That goes back down. Does this go? This goes back into the... Okay, wait. What's further down the this tunnel? Don't think I've seen. Is there anything down here? No, that don't look good, does it? What areas have I missed? That's the save. Let's give it a quick save. Just in case we crash or something. What's down here? Went down one of these, didn't we? That's where the guy was. Do actually have a map as well, don't I? How do I see the map? Boom. What's this here? Collapse tunnel. Okay, so there's something... Where are we? What's down this way? This map... I feel like this map is not helpful. It just looks more confusing. Do I keep my monitor at eye level? Yeah. Pretty much the top of the monitor is like pretty much at my eye level. Like, I don't have to move my head up or down to like look at it. It's like straight. Graphics preset at the moment, 1440p, everything maxed apart from ray tracing off. At native 1440p. Okay, so collapse tunnel. That was down this area, wasn't it? That's where the guy was, but we pretty much did all that, didn't we? Let's look in here before. Oh my god. Do I game with my 5090? Yeah. Okay, this looks like something. Oh my god. Yeah, pretty good FPS like this. Main issue really is switching ray tracing on. As long as you have that off, it's mostly okay. That just loops me back round, does it? What the hell? You can get like a little shortcut. I think I remember getting like lost on this bit when I first played it. That doesn't open up anything else, does it? Oh, that's not good. I can't see anything. I'm dead. How do I quick kill? I forget. I've got nothing in the slots. Run! Oh my god. What? How do I... Oh god. No! Why do I never have anything in the quick slots? I feel like every time I go into this game, I don't have anything in the quick slots. Alright, at least we're not far off. How do I do it? Here we go. How do I do it? Quick. How do I get that in? How do I get that in a quick slot? I feel like I do this every time and I forget every time. For some reason it wipes it every time. I've definitely saved it with all my stuff in a quick slot and then I load it back up and it's all gone. Settings at the moment. Yeah, I'm at 1440p. All the graphics maxed. Just ray tracing off. What was the average with ray tracing on with these settings? At 1440p, it was what? It was like 13 FPS. So, not too good. Oh, I can actually do it out here. Hang on.
A new story. This would move the story forward.
That didn't do anything, did it? What did that do? It just changes to this, but we already did this bit. And it just says, find more signs of cult activity in the tunnels. Look at the map. There's something there, container. Light shift. What is this bit here? That's where the guy is, isn't it? What's this bit, though? Abandoned station. We need to get down here. I think. Let's try that. What does that open up? See, there's something here. Is it on the map though? Yeah, look, something opens up here, no? I remember getting stuck on this exact bit last time. It's something really silly where I just need to switch the scenes, isn't it?
The plot changed the details of the world.
There's an arrow there. There's definitely something there because it's on the map. No, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't seem to open anything up. Is that a light source? Where was that doorway with the light thing? Oh, it's gone. Wait, hang on. It's here, isn't it? This is where that guy is, right? Have I missed anything down here? He's up there. What else is down here? Oh. Here we go. Didn't notice this last time. Okay, that's a waste. Oh god. Okay, what settings do I try out next? Shall I try out the, I'll switch ray tracing back on and do some FSR as well, I think, because we didn't really see that, did we? So if I fully max, why is it not letting me switch any of it on now? No! Wait. Why is it not letting me switch ray tracing on? Why is it grayed out? Am I being stupid? Wait, what? What is going on with this game? There we go. Why is it grayed out? Let me save it. Let me save it and try and let's see. Because I had that weirdness earlier where it was saying I had DLSS in the game. Okay, now it's available again now. How weird. So switch that all back to max. Whatever, everything else maxed as well. Still at I'll show you just 1440p native quick, and we'll check it out with FSR. Game is trying to save itself, probably. It's like, please don't do it to me anymore. So yeah, that's the difference between was getting like 100 to 110 with it off, getting 14 with it on. That's got to be the biggest difference I think I've seen between those two settings in a game. Just shows you how crazy that is to run. It's absolutely wild. Wow, that completely disappears there with a flashlight. So it's not going to be too good fun playing with it like that. So we won't stay on that for too long. We have already seen it a few times, just to give you a rough demo. So if I set FSR quality to quality, if I set FSR quality to quality, if I set FSR to quality, so we're at 1706 by 960, which is a pretty random resolution, but it's rendering at that and upscaling to 1440p. Still got all those graphics maxed. It's going to hopefully be a bit better. There you go, 70 FPS. Seems to give you a huge boost of FPS, just FSR quality. Going from completely unplayable to playable. Quality, yeah. Yeah, no, we got it set to quality here. So you can still max it all out with path tracing and everything. It is doable, you're just going to have to use FSR quality. It really does remind The Last of Us with the trains like that on that mission. Or that chapter where you're you gotta go underground.
I had to keep working on the story. The new story beat fit the story perfectly. The scene and plot beat made sense to me.
Can we switch over to Silent Hill? Maybe on another day. Just because we've still got to look at some different settings in this and 1080p as well. Is that winning the poll? No, so actually Stalker 2 is. I will test. I've got probably a list of another like 40 games that I want to test. It's just which I do first, you know. So it looks like Stalker 2 at the moment. I'll check out tomorrow, and then after that could do Silent Hill. Yeah, this game only officially supports FSR 2. Yeah, a little bit disappointing in that. I'm surprised this game never got FSR 3. I was saying it earlier in the stream. Because it's been out for a while now, and I think obviously it'd really benefit from that. To actually have it officially supported in the game. It's GPU Gigabyte Gaming.
I changed the story. And with that, the dark place changed.
Is there a light? I need a light source, do I? Or something? Oh no, I can just do this, can't I? Is that what I need to do? Oh wait, what's that there? There's a way out. Interesting.
It was locked from the other side.
Rise of the Ronin. Yeah, I didn't know whether to check that out. It doesn't seem to be too much interest in it, really. I've never played it personally. Okay, so we can't get out there. Let me look back out again there, outside. Is this GPU quite running at 100% usage?
The cult poured the gas.
It depends what your fan, how... It's not really to do with usage, it depends what your fans are at.
Soon become a coffin.
Unless you mean fan usage, like fans at 100%. I mean, I should imagine it'd be quite loud if you did that. Oh, hello, what's down here? Damn it, bro. Okay, I wonder if we can switch it. What's down here if I switch it? This is with path tracing and FSR, yeah. Okay, you can still get round, can you? I need to look at it at an angle. The like sphere. Oh god. Okay, yeah, that doesn't seem... I'll double check the sphere. Doesn't seem like anything else really, does there?
Hello?
Here we go.
Anyone there? Dead.
How quiet is it now? I mean, I always find that question really hard to tell because I can't hear it because I've got headphones on, but I think people are susceptible to different levels, so it's very hard to really tell, to be honest. Like, if I take my headset off, can I hear it? Yeah. But I don't really know if I just, you know, I think the loudness of something, unless I measured it with like actual specific decibels, is like a very opinion thing. Like, some people think the absolute smallest minute sound of a fan is loud, but for me that isn't. So it's like, oh no, you have to line this up, don't you? I remember. I was being stupid. But yeah, I mean, you can hear it. I can hear it, but then there's not many GPUs I'm running where if I'm playing a game and pushing it to its limit that I can't hear. But I can never hear it anyway because I've got headphones on.
Charming.
It turns into a bit of a ghost story after.
If that makes sense.
They say the dark smoke from the fires.
Depends. I mean, if you want something that's completely silent, then no, I'd say it's not. It's not completely silent, but I don't really have many GPUs that are completely silent, to be honest. Like, when I'm testing them. Maybe some Founders Editions from NVIDIA, like, pretty quiet. Unless, I mean, I could turn the fans completely off, like, not off, but, like, right down, and it'd probably be fairly silent, but your temps would also probably be kind of rough.
It could not be opened on this side.
Oh no, I think the game's crashed. No! Oh my god, it has. It's actually driver timed out me. No! Dude. Every game has got a crash for me. Yeah, it has. It's fully gone. Can I Alt F4 it? I can, yeah, look, driver timeout. Dude, no way. The game crashed due to a graphics card fault. That's not good. But I've got the AMD software detected that a driver timeout has occurred. Dude, that happens like way too frequently for me. The only games we played where it didn't was what? It was Monster Hunter Wilds didn't crash, and GTA was okay as well. That's really annoying. We'll have to... Give me a sec, I'll try and reboot. Make sure to drop a like on the stream as well, and also consider subscribing if you're not already. If you want to see any more AMD stuff, try keep testing different games. First crash. First crash on Alan Wake, yeah, but we had loads. It's crashed in Cyberpunk, it crashed in Spider-Man 2, it crashed in... what games did we try? It crashed in Black Myth Wukong, didn't it? It crashed in those games. It didn't crash, like I say, in Monster Hunter and GTA, it didn't crash. I'm hoping it's just... I don't know where it's saved me, that's more the annoying thing. Still got everything maxed out here. We'll maybe drop it down, or could maybe even drop ray tracing off maybe and see it. Limit power. I don't think it's that because it hasn't crashed in every game, and every game's used 330 watts. It didn't crash in Monster Hunter, and it was using 330. So I wouldn't have thought it's that.
The train blocked my way forward.
Just here, at least. It's not too far.
It had a role to play. The plot element I found would drive the story.
Jack! Dr. Ezio! Thanks for subscribing, and the third guy, but I have no idea how I would pronounce that name. I'm afraid. But thanks for subscribing. I completely forgot this guy would be in there. Yeah, let's pretend that didn't happen. I'm running in headless. Absolutely headless, just brainless. Not even thinking. What's my overall impression of the GPU? Well, I think it's pretty good for, you know, if you can get it close to MSRP, I think it's really good. For just raster performance, ray tracing, as you'd expect, isn't really that great. Like maybe low or medium. Pretty much forget about path tracing.
But it was here for
At native, unless you're happy to use frame generation and FSR and stuff. I think the two biggest issues for me are the crashing. Obviously, is kind of annoying. It crashes a bit too more than I'd like. And the power usage is just always really high, which we have come to expect with, you know, last couple of AMD GPU gens have all been quite power like heavy. Doesn't bother me so much at high resolutions because in general you know, expect it to use quite a lot of power at those. But at like 1080p sometimes I can still be using 330 watts, which is too much. It doesn't drop from 4K to 1080p sometimes. In some games, it just seems way too high for 1080p. Like when you compare it to some NVIDIA counterparts, it could be using 100 to 150 watts less on an NVIDIA GPU at the same settings, which is like, that's quite a big efficiency gap.
There are no happy endings in this city.
The story thread felt important. I could use it in one of the scenes I'd found. A sick and twisted story, but it worked.
Wait, did we ever get to go through that door? I think I tried to go through that door, didn't I? And then it crashed. It's still locked, is it?
The subway car had become a burnt
Max
house.
effects 1080p low in Warzone.
Through it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna vary massively game to game. Even with, we was playing GTA yesterday, even with ray tracing switched off, it was using way more. It was using like in the 200 odds watts. It's gonna vary game to game. Like, yeah, if you go 1080p low on Warzone or something, then I would imagine it'll use less. But from what I've seen at the resolutions in the games I've tested, it's still been way too high.
It could not be opened on the side. This was something out of a horror story, but I had to keep going.
I'm using an AM5 platform with an AMD GPU. That combo sucks. Well, I don't think it is that though, because I've used my AM5 with an NVIDIA GPU, and I basically had no issues. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's probably, it seems more than likely it's just maybe a GPU with a driver type thing. Because that's definitely not, it's not made a difference. I've not had the same thing with the NVIDIA GPU. So I don't think it's my CPU, because it would, I would have thought, cause a problem for me as well doing that. And to be fair, my 4900K Intel wasn't really that great and free of problems either. I was getting insane amount of crashing with that whole Intel CPU issue. So I don't think an Intel AMD GPU build would be that much better either. The instability issues that Intel had.
None of this was real. It was
Damn, bro. That was so loud.
fuck me.
Can we open this door now? Boom. Almost as if it's a game issue. What do you mean? What, the crashing? No, but like I say, it's happened to me in about 4 or 5 games now, so it's not a game issue. I've had the exact same issue in like 4 or 5 games. It's not game specific. It feels like a driver thing because I have some games that don't do it, but I've definitely had more than one game now that has. I've had driver timeouts in like 4 or 5 games. I've had 2 games that haven't done it. So it definitely seems like some sort of compatibility thing. Or something, I don't know. It's hard to say, but all it gives me is the driver timeout. There's a problem with your graphics card. It literally says that. There's a fault with your GPU error. I get, so when it crashes. So it's telling me it is the GPU, so I don't really know. Only going off the error it gives me, and it says it's a GPU fault, so that's all I can go off, really. Are we only gonna be testing NVIDIA favored games to give the illusion that this card is bad? What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
My path was blocked. I had to find a way through. The lights would help me.
Just test the most popular and most demanding games, really, is the general go through each game. It's not a personal attack on AMD or anything. Just purely here to test it, that's all. I want to test it in games where we have the biggest range of settings and we can test the most things, and also popular games. This game got the highest number of votes that I did today, so I didn't even technically pick the game. The audience, picked the game. So if people want to see it, I'll test it. I've got no affiliation to any game. I'll test any game if I have it. If you're on 23.5.1, it's the GPU driver. People had crashing. Yeah, that's. I was reading a little bit. Some people were getting crashing, so I wasn't going to stress it too much. It's definitely nowhere. Like I've tested loads of AMD cards in years and years, and it's definitely nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I used to have really, really bad crashing all the time. It's definitely not. It's way better than it used to be. So I can definitely deal with it. The worst was on Black Myth Wukong because I was worried if I got a boss, I killed a boss and then it crashed, it might not have saved. That was the that was only when I was a little nervous. Can I get around? With new drivers, it'll get better. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. What is that objective? Find... Yeah, I can switch ray tracing off here now as well with FSR quality. I think overall we'll hold above 60. We just switch this fully off. We should get really good FPS. This is at 1440p, no, not native FSR quality at the moment. Just then we had FSR quality at 1440p with path tracing on. Now path tracing's off. How do I turn the torch off? How do I turn the torch off, actually? I forget what the... Watching Spurs. I will probably... Maybe second half. So when does it start? It starts at 8, doesn't it?
The echoing hall. and
Here
a
we
story
go.
to tell.
Disable ray tracing, path tracing. It is disabled.
I had a new scene to use, a new setting.
Yeah, 200 FPS here. It will be less when we get outside.
It changed into the murder cult's hideout.
We can line those up. Scene like this really reminds me of Control.
The Fed had witnessed something here that made him run scared. Whether the summoning ritual had been a bona fide supernatural event or the mass psychosis of stark raving lunatics, it didn't change the facts. The cult was messing with things no one should mess with.
Warhammer 40 Darktide. Oh, what, as a game? Potentially. I think I do have that. I don't have it installed, but that has that has ray tracing, but meet up in the final. If Tottenham have Man United in the final, you've just given us the first cup in a while, you know. So I appreciate that. That'd be kind of you. Which one didn't I do? Missing summoning ritual. I think I did. I don't know that one.
My writing was affecting reality.
Yeah, we smashed on cider. Cider is so grim. I used to drink that loads when I was younger, Strongbow, and now I can't even smell. If I smell the stuff, it makes me feel sick. I used to drink that when I was like way young. You know, like cheeky little park drink. I'm stuck in it now. That's not good. What is happening? What's the object? Complete the ritual in the collapsed tunnel. Well, it's just done something. Here we go. No? This has changed. Now what? How do I get out of here? Let me out! Do I even need to leave? I don't know. Oh god. I mean, I got boss music. I'm doing a runner. That's not good. No! I think I'm probably supposed to do something else, aren't I? Go down that way. I appreciate the tips, but there'll be a delay on the stream, so if you're saying go down that way, it's likely I'm already like 15 seconds ahead of you, so it's like it's tough to give exact directions because by the time you're saying it, I'm already way past it. Let's I'm going to drop down to 1080p now as well, just so we can have a look at that. If we set this back to... Oh god, it's going to do this again. Why does this game bug out so hard? It just grays that out for me. Gonna have to save it. Does that mean ray tracing's on or off though? Oh, it's off. Alright. Let me get out of this bit and then I'll have to switch. Question is... What the hell, dude? There's a path, so I am right in leaving. Because it says I need to complete the ritual, but I'm guessing it's done. I'm guessing they can hear me, but... Run, Luke, run! Can I save it in here? Save it, you... Oh, it's bad, it's bad. Load it, load it, load it. No! What the hell was that? $18 seconds delay, yeah, there's going to be some delay. That's why sometimes when I read and you'll sort of like go this way, I'm like, I'm already... At that point, I probably already have died. It's like time dilation or something. Are all these killable? I don't think they are. Some of them are friendly. Can I do 1080p? I'll have a look in this sec. I'm going to have to just save it first, though, because it's bugged my settings out. Out my way. Can I get back through the train? No. It's bad. This is not good. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. No! Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm dead. Dude, once you get hit once, that's it. It's game over. Like, how... Alright, I need to take this slow. I'm just running around like a headless chicken. I need to actually take them out one by one instead of just running. Right, let's wake up. Okay, it's none of those. I think none of these are dodgy. This guy's dodgy. He's dodgy. Oh, it's bad. No, I'm dead. Jump down! Oh my god. Why can't I jump down that ledge? This is harder than Elden Ring. Why is he not jumping down that ledge? Alright, I said I wasn't going to run in, and I still run in. Let's not be silly. No. There's no way. Alright, how do I heal up? Now was the other question. I still didn't figure that out. How do I heal up?
Story beat fit the story perfectly.
What? What happened? I was paused. What was that? I came out the thing and I was dead. Right, how do I heal? I actually didn't even figure that out yet. How do I see my inventory? Why is this such a problem? Anyone know what the keybind is? Why can't I see any of my inventory? I'm scared now if I go into the other place. How do I see my inventory? I don't get it. None of the keys work. I'm pressing all the keys. I'm just going to look at the controls. Inventory. Control. What? Control? Yeah, but how do I use it? Oh my god, here we go. Finally found it. Trauma pad. We're going to need loads of those. Let's fully heal, because I'm not actually even fully healed. That might be why I'm having a problem. I'm taking like one hit and I'm out. I'm out for the count. Frame generation on? No. This game doesn't have FSR 3 frame generation. Driver level frame? You mean fluid motion frames? That's not FSR frame generation. Similar thing, but it's not the same thing. But I can't enable that on the stream because it won't get picked up by MSI. You won't see it. It can only be picked up by AMD's overlay, and AMD block their overlay from being captured with game capture, so I can't. I can switch fluid motion frames on, but you won't see any difference. I'll have to do it can only be recorded through video form. Right, I'm going to bait this other guy. This is still 1440p. Yeah, it should. It should say on the screen. Does it still say 1440p on the screen? It should do. What the hell just happened? I think I messed the key. I pressed the wrong key by accident. Dude, get me out of here. Is there any more? I feel like I've got them. Ray tracing isn't on though. Do I need this light? Don't know if I need that or not. Come on. Almost there. Yeah, we need that. I'm scared. Aim my flashlight at the spiral? What's that? Yeah, that's probably the way out, isn't it? Oh, it means that thing down there. We need to line it up though, don't we? You're not jumping out on me, bro.
Turns out the cultists weren't the only ones using the tunnels. Hidden graffiti signs mark secret routes. I kept hearing whispers.
Cyberpunk beats this game.
Underground society of...
In terms of lighting, yeah, I think so, probably. But I think Cyberpunk's a bit more tailored into, like, suiting, like, the art style of it suits ray trace lighting more. There's more instances of where it's more, like, you can see it more. If that makes sense. This game still does definitely look really good, though. Especially, so you go in the not courtyard, I don't know, like the city area that's outside the subway. That suits it really well. But there's obviously more instances, I think, in Cyberpunk, especially at night time. I mean, it's like it's hard to really beat that in like an open world environment where the lighting's like that. There's like not many games like that, really. Don't try me, bro. I'm running. I'm running. Oh, it's bad, it's bad. It's bad. Oh god, it's bad, it's bad. They're kicking off. They're all kicking off. Oh no. How's this guy not dead? Witcher 3 ray tracing makes a bigger difference in visuals. I don't know. Maybe. You mean in terms of ray traced effect, like the actual effect of ray tracing? Boom. We made it. Right, let me drop to 1080p quick. We'll run through it like that. I'll exit to the menu because for some reason my settings are bugged again where I can't change them. So we'll drop down to 1080p. Where is it? There it is. So we're at native 1080p here. All the graphics still maxed. Switch ray tracing, everything back on path tracing. We've got that one maxed here. So we'll see what it does at 1080p. Gonna shrink the overlay a little bit. Have I seen the new Bolt Zeus GPU? No, I haven't. What's that? For the 9070 XT or? Okay, so this is definitely better at 1080p. We had, what did we have? We had about 15 FPS with these settings, didn't we? At 1440p, so that's definitely better at 1080p. We are definitely playing at native here. Little max, which that's, going to probably see it dip down a little bit, I think, if we get out, when we get outside. It's definitely going to come down a little bit. I don't think it's quite going to stay at 60, but we'll see. Okay, is this a case of I just need to get out of here now? Complete the ritual. What? I was in, like, do we need to go back to this bit, do we? To complete it, I think. Because, yeah, I think it dipped down a little bit there to 54. This is what I was saying earlier. Look at my power. We're at 1080p here. We have got, obviously, path tracing on, but I'm still at 330. Which is crazy. We'll just keep an eye on that. See what power's like when I switch that off. See how much better it gets. Oh. Oh, the Zeus Bolt GPU. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like that was a model of GPUs. If you see what I mean. Like, you know, you have like... You know, what's it called? You get like the Aorus or whatever. I thought you meant that is like an add-in board GPU. I did see an article, I think. I don't know if that's what it was called. I think it was. That does ring a bell. I didn't really read too much on it.
Into the story.
Oh wait. I didn't change the res. Gotta remind me. Okay, that's not gone well. I need a death counter on this. How was I supposed to get out of that? Literally, just turn around and I'm dead. Was that not the right way to run, maybe?
Perfectly. The dark presence. Fuck!
Run! Now what? F. Save that. Look at the lows there. 2 FPS. Put 1% low of 2. Definitely still stutters a little bit, doesn't it? This is the way out. Yes, this is the way out. Get me out of here. Now we'll see what the FPS is like outside. It's almost definitely going to be under 60, I think. What was the objective? Enter the unblocked tunnel. What? Oh, God. Get me out of here. Wrong way. Yeah, that was the wrong way, wasn't it? Look, big stutter there, look. Look at the frame time. No FSR on right now. No, this is native 1080p at the moment, but with path tracing on.
I could get through.
Oh god. Don't look back.
The dark presence. I had seen it before.
Seems to almost be those cutscenes where it, in and out of the cutscene seems to cause
Was always
the frame time to go kind of crazy.
haunting me.
This memory junction, 94 degrees. That is not looking good, is it? Isn't this in the same place where the Balrog lives? It looks just like this. The mines.
I had found the murder site. Somehow the victim's heart was the key.
This is the guy at the start of the game, isn't it?
Something had shifted. I felt an overwhelming closeness to home. An FBI agent? Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI.
This is Alan Wake. I'm trapped here. The dark place. Under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake. Who are you?
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The dark presence. Help me. Please, help me.
Triarch Survival. What, Survival Ascended?
I was closer to home.
Ascended or the other one? What's the other one? Evolved.
The woman in the vision help me somehow?
Is that Ark Survival Evolved, the first one?
Outside. Parliament Tower. Where I had lived with Alice.
Not the first one, just
Who's
the
out there?
non-Unreal Engine 5 one. Mostly 2 slot. I think so. I don't know. There's maybe some. There's 3. There's 3 slot. Honestly, I don't know about all the models. I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if I'd stream Ark, because I don't really play that game, to be honest with you. I could check it out in a video, but I'm not sure it'd be very fun for me to stream it, because I don't really know, like, how to play it, to be honest.
The violent emotion of the
It's just me, like, running around, just
wrath, the dead,
running away from dinosaurs.
staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that's so
Okay, I think we're finally getting out. What other settings did we want to see at 1080p? Because this is native and it's holding up mostly okay. Maybe we should wait until I can get outside. It does stutter a lot though, like look at that bit there. I think
The
it's,
station had changed. I was closer now.
I think it's mainly ray tracing and path tracing on. Seems to make it stutter quite a bit. See if we can get outside here and just have a look. And I'm guessing it won't hold 60. I wouldn't have thought, but we'll see.
Parliament Tower.
Yeah, it seems like it might
Home in New York.
maybe at its lowest dip
Was I really
to the
this close to
sort of
being
high
home?
40s by the looks of that at some bits. Maybe 49.
Be home? Or was this just an echo of the
But it's
real thing?
mostly holds 50.
Even then,
Likely in the forest area
one step closer.
in this game, it probably would hit in the high 40s. I would guess if we're hitting sort of 50, 51 here. You might just see that in the forest.
Hey, Alan. Thank God it picked up. I thought I lost you again.
Torn between 5072 and 9070 is $200 more.
Did you go deeper? To the
Probably comes down to really if you how much you want to like ray tracing. Like, is ray tracing a massively important thing to you?
closer to getting out. Where
You know, are you going to be using upscaling loads? Because I do think DLSS 4 is probably still better. Image quality wise, it's probably slightly better. Not much in it, but obviously if you were to buy it right now, more games obviously support that. Not that you can't mod FSL 4 in games, but it depends whether you want to sort of go to that hassle of doing that, of modding each game.
Wait.
Probably depends on what games you play and what settings you want to play at. This is with ray tracing, path tracing on, yeah. We could switch that off and I'll show you how much of a difference that makes with performance. Oh, I can't switch it off again. Dude, what's going on with this game? It bugs out the settings for me and I can't change them. I don't know why, it just only started doing that. At first I could switch them. We'll put FSR quality on. And once I get to another save, I can save it. I'll have to back out to the menu and come back in. Before I can change it, but that's given us a sort of 20 to 30 FPS increase there. Hopefully be much closer to 100 FPS. Brain, hello. Now, if I remember, you can't... Oh, you can just go straight in.
Writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster.
VRAM definitely come down quite a bit at 1080p as well, looks like, compared to
She knew things.
under 10 gig now, which you would expect from 1440p and 4K.
A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed.
Overall, actually, CPU usage hasn't really changed much, has it?
In the story?
I do want to try and see that power with ray tracing off, because we're still at 330 here. .360 and PS3 emulators. I'd have to look. I'd have to have a look because I don't have anything like that on this PC. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream if you haven't. I think we're only 12 likes off 200. It'd be cool if we could hit 200 before the end of the stream.
Set to go off when the door opens.
I think there's a save point in here, is there?
Get out! Leave me alone!
I'm hoping so.
Alice! Alice. This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
You just like the stream? Thanks.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
Oh, I could have sworn there'd be a save point in here.
Alice's video camera. No memory card inside.
Okay, memory card. You subscribed, James, thanks. What does it say here? Video R, I can't see it behind the overlay. On screens something? Focus on the dark place. It's probably going to be one of those rooms, isn't it? Did we miss any of the... There's one here, there's a room here, can't get in there.
The door wouldn't budge.
Here we go, what's in there? Does it say? Pick photos. Where is it? Showing yo. Did I already have it on me? Locate memory card.
Changing a plot element in a scene without...
Oh. Boom.
Alice's memory card.
No ray tracing. No, ray tracing is on. I'm just using FSR quality at the moment. I was going to switch ray tracing off, but I need a save point because the game, the sort of settings are bugged out for me sometimes over the last couple of hours, and I can't switch this here to the preset, so I can't fully switch it off. I can only go to live for some reason. It needs to bug it out.
When I was younger,
And I have to go to the main menu and then back.
photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but...
Pretty nice apartment.
Right.
This apartment would be like 10 grand in England. 10 grand a month.
Then... Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there.
Half-Life 2 remix. Oh, okay, I'll check that out.
Things went wrong.
Didn't 1 get that as well? Is that like an official thing though, or is it a mod?
And he was just gone.
Is it like the Portal RTX, or is it like a modded thing?
It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago,
Eating my cashew nuts.
I started hearing noises in the night.
How's 1440p ray tracing?
Keys clacking.
FSR quality was about 60 with that, I think.
Alan was back. Haunting me.
60 to 70. Because at native it's about 14 FPS.
Then it got violent.
It's officially licensed by Portal. Okay. Is that free if you already have the game?
Was a monster. He always did have anger in him.
Am I supposed to listen to all this?
I set up cameras around the apartment.
She's boring.
Sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film,
I couldn't get in. I was missing something.
and this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
I actually don't know if I have... I think I got it free or something. I'm sure I got Half-Life somewhere for free, but I don't know if it's in Steam.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her.
I'd have to look.
Why?
I think that's the same day as Assassin's Creed, though, isn't it? So I get Assassin's Creed early, and I think I get it on the 18th, which I think is... Oh, I can't see the date. What date that is? I think that's next... Is that next Tuesday? I think it might be off the top of my head.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation.
Might have to do a two-dayer.
Myself through the dark place.
I'll do Assassin's Creed and I'll do Half-Life. Maybe the day after.
The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
They gave it free. You know what? I might have had... Back in the day, I got the orange box. Half-Life would have been with that, wouldn't it? Does anyone else remember that? I had Team Fortress. It had all those. I don't know what Half-Lifes it had though, I can't remember. But I think I've still got that in my Steam library from back in the day. Team Fortress, yeah. I think I've still... Because I've had this account. I think it's the same account that I've like always had. There was another game in there, in Orange Box, I think I used to play. It was like a World War II soldier one. I always forget the name of it. I played that game quite a bit back in the day. Mars, hello. You're thinking of getting a 5070 Ti. How much? How much would it cost?
Let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan.
Where you are.
For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place. It's like New York, but it's not New York. And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable.
Day of Defeat, that's
Scratch
it.
when he looks like me,
I love
but
playing that
changed
game.
into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people, making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes, fiction coming in contact with the dark place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the dark place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like
Yes, to install Steam. Yeah, I used to play back then. I used to play loads of Counter-Strike. I had loads of friends at school that played. We all used to play Counter-Strike quite a lot.
Mr. Wake, Alan, we've seen our share of batshit crazy.
So happy today. So far, no crashes. Nice. 15 to 20 times. I never crashed that much. I had one crash today on this, which is not too bad.
Or a vision of you.
Pretty much consistently get like one crash per stream, really. Apart from Cyberpunk, I had like 4 or 5. With the other games, I think I've had like one crash. I think Spider-Man crashed twice. Batman vs. Wukong crashed once. This crashed once.
We are all in danger.
Don't mind it's so bad. From like a 3-hour stream or something, it's not too bad. 15 to 20 times though, that's crazy. Right. Let me, I'm going to save it. See, I remember there was the save in it. And I want to just switch ray tracing off. Ray tracing, yes, ray tracing and path tracing are currently on, but I've got FSR quality on as well. This is 1080p. I'm going to have to just exit to the menu because for some reason it bugs. And I can't change the settings. I just want to see it 1080p natively, no ray tracing, and see if try and get this power usage down because it's still pretty much maxed out for me. Yeah, for some reason, in game it seems to sometimes bug out and I can't change the settings for some reason. So I'm still at 1080p native here, all the graphics max, but now just with ray tracing fully off. So no ray tracing, no path tracing. Hopefully GPU power comes down. $7800X3D, the 9070 XT should be fine, yeah. Okay, so that goes from that switching ray tracing and path tracing off there doubles the FPS pretty much from native. We had about 60 to 70, didn't we? So huge difference in performance. It's pretty wild.
Heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch.
And also, well, no, I don't know. Power here is still max 330 watts. Well, 328 watts. But when I was back here, it looked like it was. Oh, I think maybe it just hadn't loaded in yet. That's crazy. This is what I was saying earlier. The graphics still max, no ray tracing. I'm still hitting basically 320, 330 watts, which is. It just seems way too high. Can I get outside yet?
Wake has more information. If the cult has the clicker, does that make them scratch?
You're using a year-old driver more stable, as in like you're getting the 15 to 20 crashes on the old driver, or you've switched to that now to try and stop it.
I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
7800X3D from before. Yeah, I mean, you'd see an improvement, obviously going to a 9800X 3D, but like realistically, it's fine. You're not going to have any issues on that one either. It's still really good. And like for the money for now, I'd just probably stick with that. Trying to get outside to see. Oh, I've got to go into this, I think.
Wake just gave us a lot of information, but this clicker.
Cap
seems
your
like a good
FPS.
place to start. If
Yeah,
we
I mean,
want that,
if you cap the
then we
FPS
can
here,
go.
so for example, if I was to cap this to 60, then yeah, the power would come down purely because the GPU usage would come down. You're not using the GPU anymore. But we're here to test it, so it's not too much. I want to see what FPS it can get. There's not really too much value in sort of capping the FPS. Like you would expect it to use less power though, because you're limiting the usage.
And then
If you see what I mean.
into a monster.
Your usage would come down.
Nightingale, a rider who's
So,
also been missing for 13
With that,
years.
you would expect power to come down as well.
What's the connection?
But just overall, like
What kind of case is this?
fully utilized GPU with these settings, like the power, that's very high compared to a sort of like counterpart GPUs. It's pretty high.
Think.
How do I put this on the board? Stop it. Oh my god.
Oh,
Don't like my process of elimination. Boom. First time. What other cases are there?
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages
Thanks for the
safe
reply,
with
that's
the
alright.
shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult.
Using an older driver. Okay, yeah. That's quite... I mean, you probably don't need to use a year-old driver. It's probably
Mrs. Scrap.
maybe just 1 or 2 ago.
Where is he now?
You might maybe be missing out on
Where's my face?
performance in some games by using such an old driver, but if it works, then
Scratching
if you
out my
don't mind
body
it.
at work.
Scratch is here.
What game I've decided to check next? Probably just look at what's the poll. It looks like Stalker 2. Have a look at Stalker 2.
Scratch looks just like Wake.
Which would be interesting because I think the performance in that game is pretty nuts, isn't it?
Wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
Right, get me out of here. Get me out.
Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
Can I sit
I
down?
don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one.
When will
trying
I
to
stream
solve
that?
This.
I'm losing my voice.
This is our job.
Same time tomorrow.
Here. Now, this
Not sure what
is
country you're
all
in. I normally try and go live at
Be
like
careful with them.
between 5:30 and 6 p.m. UK time when I finish work. So I don't know what time that'll be where you are, but basically 2.5 hours ago I start normally.
Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew her weapon.
You're in the UK as well. Nice. You'll be home 6:30. Okay, cool. Yeah, it sometimes varies a bit for me because I finish work and then soon after. But sometimes if I'm busy at work or like something breaks, I can be a bit late. It says I've got cases, but I'm not seeing any.
It's all on the page.
Get me out of here.
The cult.
Right.
I'll head to Watery and find this trail.
Though I think overall,
Stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
power does come down a little bit, but with it all completely maxed, it does still... Yeah, it does pretty much still be completely maxed. So ray tracing isn't really the killer here in terms of power. It does still, even with ray tracing off, it's still maxing out. I can also cap the FPS and have a look. Frame rate, what should we cap it at? 60? And then, yeah, you should see power come down, but like I was explaining, it's because the GPU usage, look, 70% here, so you would expect power in that instance to come down because you're not actually utilizing the full GPU anymore. It's pretty nuts, though. 100% usage, still using 330 watts is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy like that. Let's see if I'm going to have to head off shortly. But if I... Should we switch back to 1440p for a little bit? Because we've seen 1080p, and is there any other settings we want to see whilst we're at 1080p? Before I switch, I was going to go back to 1440p, maybe go to the forest bit, check FPS out there quick, and then I might have to head off. I need to also uncap the frames again. Hang on. Aren't you burnt out? Aren't you burnt after work to do this? Well, yeah, it's not easy, but I enjoy doing it and want to try and grow the channel. So there's no other way, you know. If I didn't stream or do any you know, video editing or anything after work, then I would pretty much never do it because I work every day.
I need to head back.
So you got power through. Right, let's switch to 1440p and I'll head where is it? 2560, there it is. So if I... Do we want to switch ray tracing completely max? Let's completely max it again. It's going to be rough. At, okay. We're actually getting quite significantly better FPS here than we were in the town city bit, haven't we? Which is a little concerning for the forest. Oh god. Yeah, that's quite a crazy difference actually. So in the city area, the city bit, when we was playing in there, we had 14 FPS, didn't we, when we went 1440p native. In that town, it looked like we were getting 30. No, 40 we had. Back at the forest, I'm back down to 17 here. That's crazy. It over doubles the FPS between here and the town. That's such a big gap between. I think pretty much mostly looks the same really here as it was in the city bit, wasn't it? If anything, maybe even a little harder to run in the city. Maybe if I go down a bit further here, it might drop more. Yeah, maybe there's some, like, driver-related updates or optimizations they can make there, because that seems like a way big difference. You don't really see differences like that with the same settings normally. It goes from sort of being 40 FPS is not... It's not amazing, but it's somewhat playable, to basically under 20, which is then way worse. Have I done Indiana Jones? Not yet, no. I will at some point. Vegetation kills it. It does, but like I say, the city bit had worse FPS than this, and there's like no vegetation. I don't know how to describe that bit. Not the city bit. You know the bit when you're running around the streets. We had 14 FPS there. This actually doesn't seem as bad, this bit. It's slightly more. Is it on settings on high? Right now, yeah. Right now I've got everything maxed out, even path tracing. Completely maxed. Try and see if we can help the situation out a little bit. Put some FSR quality on. Oh god, it's still quite bad. So yeah, let's just drop that back and have a look at it on this bit. Is it any worse here? No, so with the settings like this, yeah, looking at about 18 to 19, we're seeing 20 FPS there. So it's actually a little bit easier to run this bit, I think, overall compared to the street city area. We had about 14 FPS there. Everything else, I mean, VRAM looks about the same as well as back there. 13.4 powers maxed. Yeah, only real resolution this is going to be doable is 1080p from what we've seen. 4K here would probably be half this. It'd be 9 or 10 FPS. Game goes on. You got to go to bed. I'll catch you later. Anything, maybe check balanced out. That might be a little bit more like 40 or 50. Lower ray tracing. I can do. It won't. It'll be better. It won't be. Oh, it's doing it again. I can't go low. It keeps doing this with the settings for me. I can't change it in game. I can switch these down. I can't switch path tracing direct lighting though. Ah, that's annoying. If I exit, it's going to take me back though, I think. Is there a save? Is there the witch's hut? Can I save it? I've gone the wrong way. I could save it at the witch's hut. Hang on. I said it, forest area is way intensive. It is intensive, but it's actually not as bad as the street city area. That was worse. We're getting slightly higher FPS here. The so far from what we've seen today, the street area at night in the city is has given us worse FPS. That seems like the hardest bit to run. I think it's down here, is it? Yeah, there it is. If I save it, I can go to the menu. Save 17 minutes ago. Because for some reason, it's been doing that to me today. I go into... Oh, I didn't change the res, did I? switch that all off here. Frame drops at 1080. That was actually 1440p. I forgot to change it. So, setting that off, look at the difference. Oh, we were going to set it to low, weren't we? Not off. Well, I'll show you off. This just shows you the difference in how demanding, like, ray tracing and path tracing are. Goes from 20 FPS to 85 here. So it's like completely the opposite ends of the spectrum. Frame time still does get a bit choppy for me, but it looks way better than with path tracing on. And even ray tracing for that matter. I wonder if... Yeah, we could just switch it to low instead. I'll switch it to low, just because that was my mistake. So we've got it low here. It's all set to low. So that, yeah. Going from it maxed high to low, realistically, is maybe giving you about 5 FPS. 5 or 6 FPS. It's not really going to save the situation. Ideally, to be honest, in this game, I would probably just play with it off on this GPU. Either that or... I mean, at 1440p here, even at FSR balance, you've got to use... You know, you're getting 40 FPS with FSR balance. Like, that's still not great. You're going to have to use performance, which I think it starts to... Because it's FSR 2 in the game, unless you mod it outside, FSR performance can start to look kind of rough. So I think it's probably not worth it, and it's probably just easier to switch it off, to be honest. It's just too much of a hit. Any issue with my 5090? You just got yours. Nice. What model? Do I use a 1000 watt power supply? No, I've got a 1200 watt power supply. It's in the description. Doesn't look too bad at balance, but you can definitely, I think, tell the difference.
There's something written here. A poem? Or a riddle? Reminds me of the nursery rhymes I read to Logan when she was little.
Best games check on AMD. I have actually checked a few of those. Yeah, we played Monster Hunter Wilds. Played that the other day. Played that. What was it, day before yesterday? To be honest, that game doesn't run well though. If you try other games off that list, it'd probably run like trash. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds is on that list, and it runs like trash. I'm not really too interested in a list that's going to specifically make GPUs look a particular way, though. I test any game no matter what. I'm not testing a game on the basis of anything. Test any game. I'm not testing it because it's on some, like, AMD list. If I'm going to test the game, I'm testing it anyway. I want to see all variations of games. I'm not really too interested in playing a specific game because it's, like, partnered in a specific way. That's what testing's all about. It's to try and be impartial to it. test stuff to test it, not because of any other particular factors. Test these games because it's interesting to see the settings and performance. And also other people play these games, so it's important to see games that people play. But yeah, we'll probably be checking out. Like I say, I have seen Monster Hunter Wilds already. We did test that, I think, 2 days ago. Probably check out Space Marine 2 with the 4K texture pack as well. Red Dead Redemption 2, I wouldn't say is an AMD game, is it? I'd say that runs fairly similar on AMD and Nvidia, to be honest. Right. I think that's going to be it for me today. I need to head off. And I'm going to try and catch the second half of the Tottenham game. What is the score? Come on, Tottenham. Please tell me. Please. Please. Yes! Right, Tottenham 1-0. It's 1-0 on aggregate. We're going out on pens. But anyway, I'll be back on tomorrow, similar time. Looks like Stalker 2. Stalker 2's on that poll, so I'll probably check that out tomorrow. And then, I mean, Silent Hill 2 and Witcher 3, I will check both those games out as well, because they're fairly similar. Fairly similar votes on those, so I'll check those out as well. But thanks a lot for watching. Have a good evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.